What's good YouTube, and welcome to the house. This is going to be a little bit of an unprofessional market watch with tons of news that has been happening, but first, I wanted to show some stuff off that came in the P.O. box. There were two different people, and one of them had an order that had personal information on it, so I've already opened these packages, but I did want to show off what came in. First, from Random E-Man, he made this sculpted Tyranitar for me, one of my favorite Pokemon. He had made one for himself, and I was like, yo, that is awesome, can I get one? But it wasn't like a seriously like, yo, let me have it. He went and made me one anyways, and seriously, this is for my birthday all the way back in July, and we're here in October. He was just lazy on shipping it out, and he added some other stuff. There's this light blue Godzilla that I actually haven't seen in this coloration. I always see the dark green one, and I was always on and off on, should I get it? This light blue color actually looks really, really cool on the Godzilla, so I'm glad he picked that version versus the darker one. He wanted to say get owned to Aquino, a fellow Zodiac mod slash person in our Discord slash streams, because this is for Emily. Emily's three favorite Pokemon are Snorlax, Lapras, and Ninetales, so Aquino wanted this Ninetales card and he gave it to Emily. And finally, from Random, there was also a t-shirt somewheres Buyouts here that looks freaking badass, and I'll have to try it on later. So we have this Godzilla versus Ghidorah craziness from 2019 going on, and it looks like it turned out great. From Kaiju Kev, a YouTuber who will be returning to doing videos soon. He caught the Crush card and had other stuff going on in life. He has a ton of videos planned coming out. I had said that this had gone off of Hot Topic while I was planning to spend hot cash. It sold out, and now it's back on Hot Topic, but he was like, yo, I got you. I got this blanket. You're getting this blanket. I was like, you don't have to, man. And he sent it in anyways. Unfortunately, his address was in the order number for returns, even though it wasn't on the packaging. That was a bit weird of Entertainment Earth. But thank you so much for ordering the blanket. I'm going to be using it this winter when things get cold in Texas. That being said, out of everything, I got to pick one favorite. Hand sculpted. You made this, Random. That is freaking awesome. But I appreciate everything from both of you guys. Really. And if you guys want to send anything, the P.O. box is always listed in the description down below. That being said, let's get into today's Market Watch. 6.9 nice on the lowest, although you add $1 and it's not 6.9 anymore. The unlims are still really cheap for Ignister Prominence, but all of a sudden, the first editions are going gone. It looks like anything that is semi-nice looking / played in the past, that is ultimate rare and first ed, gets rolling buyouts. This was somewhat prominent when we saw Berg Bob, Alex Bergeron, back in the day when the Endymion structure that came out, using this for loops, and I don't know if this has any impact in a recent tournament or something, but I would imagine also looking at past formats like Pepe. A ton of people are mentioning past formats right now to something that's always been on my mind with the market. So we do see somebody going super heavy and deep to where all the first editions of Ignister Prominence are off the market, so just be aware that buyout was a thing. And the stupid buyouts of the day, X-Saber Poshel has been up for a bit. You have the create a card pull. X-Sabers have now lost, yet this is still price hiked a good little chunk. We see it towards 15, 16, and another X-Saber, MX-Saber Invoker. Maybe this was pre-ban list, I don't know. But you see the unlim secret rares are oh so easy to get. But the first edition lowest is 22 and then 25. There's basically none of them, and it's been this way for days. A lot of these cards, if you've been attending the live streams, you've already seen them come up in stream or in conversation, this being one of them. And I don't see this one coming off the list. If anything, I see LP joining it on the list, but if X-Sabers won, maybe, it's too generic. Isolde is very generic as well, but it's still running around. So who knows, but this would help you get resources up into Isolde. I just don't see it happening, but that's another buyout that's happened. Unlim secrets still are actually kind of up versus market price too. Market price, that can't have been, that has to be from damaged. I feel like this was $3 forever, so I can't imagine that being the market price, but looks like unlims are actually up a little too. Now, speaking of getting yourself something nice though, Stay Classy has their Moki Unlimited wave coming, with the back being featuring the Imposter. Looks like they're going in with Among Us. Field Center, it's Human Wave Tactics on the back, I believe, with all the different Mokis, and you can see a Stay Classy one there too. And then the Imposter Among Us edition. So we have that over at Stay Classy. You can use code What'sGood5 for 5% off to also support the channel. And get this meme, it's for a limited time. I don't know when it's going to go out. They have limited quantities, so you want to be sure to get yours. Like, even though it's a unlimited edition, it's still an edition, and I believe they keep those to 100 or less, and this one sold out in a single day last time. Trickstars are getting buyouts, and I feel like I'm missing something when I see some of these. Like, are people just bored this month? Is there actually a murmur and hubbub coming up? Let me know why people are going after Trickstars. Reincarnation's an insanely powerful card. It kind of makes sense. It stands alone into degenerate strategies, and I could see why people would be after this, but Candina is going also, which I guess is a searcher card engine for it. So like maybe it's Big Brain 5 had things that I just don't see, but now there's only 4 listings of the Mega Pack version and 10 listings of the Star Pack Common, and the original Ultra is gone. This one's just blowing my mind a bit. It's been an engine for a while. The engine got hit because of Orcus, and then we haven't seen much of it. It still gets thrown into kitchen sink decks, but Reincarnation is ticking up and running out of quantities. Candina is gone. Let me know if you think there's a solid reason for this right now. Trickstars, but with Dragoon. Or more so this engine is evolving, or there's a big brain reason it did something in a tournament that I missed. Let me know if there's an actual flash pan moment where this started to go, because last time on stream, all the Mega Pack versions were there, and now they're gone too. Heavy Metal Foes Electromite continues to tick on up, as we know Metal Foes are getting support, and it has Metal Foes in the name. Surely, like Barty, it'll come back, right? This hold is free, it'll come back, right? I feel like Konami would probably craft a retrain, and this is maybe wishful thinking, a retrain version of this card for Metal Foes that specifically only works in Metal Foes if they're going to create another Electromite, rather than that generic Pendulums. It does feel like they overhit it when they headed towards Master Rule 5, but they silently wanted the Pendulums to go away, despite Triff's existent Yelling Best deck showing them how it's done. I just don't see Electromite coming off for the Metal Foe deck itself, but I honestly think I would like it to come back, and here's why. When it comes to this card, and like I said, unprofessional market watch, by the way, we're way into speculation at this point. With this card, it was only topping 1 to 2 YCSs at a time, and I feel like they slammed it to try to generically hurt Pendulums so that the player experience didn't have to go against it as much, but now they're crafting new cards that are probably Pendulum based. We still only have images. We don't know how they're going to craft these Metal Foes. We don't know what they're going to do with them, but I would think that if they have anything to do with Pendulums, you could see a peel off, but we'll have to see how Konami's money brain works along with that. I would like to see it, so I do see why people are throwing their cash at their screens and at this card, but we'll have to wait and see. It's all speculation up to that point. And they could just reprint it in something. It only has 2 printings. Malakota, you owe me a soda. A famous man on my live stream once said, co-host Master Dinnerflex. Malakota's Ghost Rares, they've been going up for a while and have been above market price for a while, but there's only 16 listings on the secret at this point, and its market price has changed a little from flatlining to like towards 5 solid, and there's plenty of listings like, you know, coming back that actually want to make sales that have this card who don't care about it. I don't feel like Malakota will be doing much anything, but it's just funny. It has its 1 original printing and then Ghost Rare all out of 1 set, and people are slowly eating it off the market again. Speaking of being eaten off the market, the Donzalug. This is a prime candidate for Lost Art, isn't it, Konami? Isn't it, Konami? When it comes to this Donzalug, though, every single listing is under 10 listings. This is a tech and good old GOAT format, and power creep to the very famous white magical hat on the CMOS Progression series. But when it comes to this guy, he is a really badass piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History. I really like him, and I can understand why the higher rarities of him are going in the prices they are. But now even the common in your bulk from Gold Series Haunted Mine has been shooting up. Be sure to pick these out of bulk. You always should have been. And you got some money there with your Dons if you have them. And that's not the Aurora Dawn. That's an ancient Dawn. Soul Exchange is at 76 for its dual terminal preview. DTP is a special set that was only released at one Nationals in history, but then also over in California, which is why so many were coming out of there for years, but they've spread through out after time. I had a discussion on Patreon about this, and when it comes to this, I was watching an auction, and I wanted these for LOB format, and I bid 30, and then they went to the stratosphere. The bids went over 200. There's actual cash being thrown at cards like these, and again, past formats is something people definitely are more interested in right now. There's only one on all of TCG Player at 76. How do you feel about DTP1 preview versus the other dual terminals? Does it have enough attention and knowledge? Because when I bring it up in a lot of Market Watch, they're like, what's DTP1? What's the P for? Is it something special? Yes, it is. But does this little set number change and the history behind it, is it enough to keep this market up, or will it keep crashing as it has in the past with the rest of dual terminals? So far though, a lot of the DTP1, the more iconic stuff, it's been sky high, and now even the less iconic stuff, well, okay, Soul Exchange is pretty iconic. Let's not get into that conversation. It is a pretty iconic card, but versus like first edition starter deck Yugi, what would you rather have on this version? What would you consider highest rarity? Now let's talk about some price coolness. It always seems like on Market Watch lately, we're buyout, 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 buyout. Nekroz Embryonic, even the secret rare, has been falling out the big time. And remember the ridiculous towards Dogmatica coming? Everybody was saying it was the best. I was starting to drink and eat that Kool-Aid. Yeah, just eating the straight up packets, not even getting it in water. When it comes to this card, it is now back to $3, kind of the before hype prices. So if you're looking at Nekroz format, you were saying, oh man, I wanted that. I saw those comments in the comment section. You can use that TCG Player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. That now that it has returned back to its lower pricing. But even the secret rares are falling out. Dogmatica obviously mixed with much better decks than Nekroz, as sad as it is to say. Somebody the other night in stream was like Nekroz tier 0, which is why we even started to look at the prices so I could make fun of that a little. But when it comes to the first editions, even those are down versus the crazy prices they were, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. I'm investing, it's only going to go up. I heard a lot of that. Nope, back down towards 45. So if you've been waiting for even higher rarities of this card, it's looking pretty good right now, isn't it, versus what it was. Winged Dragon of Ra Ghost Rare has continued to go down. I think it's very hard to buy this online. I've had that conversation a few times because people will send it with scratches and still call it near mint, and then you're going to get into these back and forth between sellers and the buyers. So a lot of people want to buy this more so in person, but I still think the moment that another Ghost God is announced and the line of collection is going to buffen, you're going to see a lot of buyouts. But at 1 per case with no other chase card in this set for being a special lottery card, like Battles of Legend had 10,000 Dragon and Utopia. In core sets, you have 4 to 5 Starlight rares, now 5 for the continuing core sets. This is all by itself, and it's 1 per case instead of 1 per every 2 cases. The population of this card is much higher, but a lot of them come out scratched. So those true gem mint 10s, they're going to be beautiful, and the 9s are still going to be pretty good. Anything under, though, you're looking at the more like, I'd rather get it looking a bit nicer. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is now solidly under 40, and I didn't think I'd be saying that already, but there was only a couple listings around the $40 mark last time I showed him, and now they are lining up high quantities, all under 40. The competition is undercutting and selling him. So Dragoon is on a downward little path right now. I know, just $2, and it's on Market Watch, but it's more the note of the quantities and how strengthened it is getting in terms of more and more people putting it down there, while the rest of the set has been definitely fluctuating in different places. And the final thing I wanted to point out is the gap between first edition and unlimited collector rare has gone way crazy. Look at this. The lowest Blackluster Soldier was actually, I believe, at around 100 even at one point, but we see 110 here. Let's find the lowest first edition on the most coveted collector rare card. $360 from a motivated seller with low feedback. Before it's 400. And when we looked on stream the other day, it was 400 lowest. This is a crazy gap, all for those little words first edition, which is why a word like P, or a word, yeah, a letter Gosh dang it. We're not redoing this market watch. I said it's unprofessional. The letter P here, I think, can matter very much when a first edition stamp, but the first edition stamp is much more recognized among all collectors. It's just crazy, and as we head towards Genesis Impact, keep in mind when the collector rare market gets more cards and more cards and more cards thrown at it, because we've been sitting on 15 of these for a while, and they're all pretty decent. Well, will all of the Genesis Impact cards be pretty decent? Will they all have a good standing? What will happen to the total population of first edition collector rares, and how will that market go? Unlimited is not holding its own. Unlimited, I think Konami should never release an unlimited wave with collector rare again, and this should be the lesson. Unlimited collector rare is easy as all get out to get, and I would be grabbing some of these Toon ones maybe even, but boy, is it not palatable now. What do you guys think of the gap between first edition and unlimited collector rare? Does it just show how fragile a rarity can be? Like, what if there were unlimited Starlights? How would people and collectors be at them when we take a look at this new rarity and how it's being treated? It's a special thing because it's the first time we get a look like at this in the community since Ghost Rare, in the gap between first and unlimited Ghost Rares and how people treat them. This is pretty crazy. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed these conversations. I know it might have been a little longer than the usual Market Watch, but there were plenty of odds and ends to get to. And thanks. Please subscribe if you haven't already, by the way. I know a lot of you guys aren't subscribed, but you keep popping back in. I wonder why that is. Just subscribe.